What's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Steve back at it again with another Diablo 4 Necromancer Shadow build. This is pure shadow damage build. This is not a proc build. It does not rely on X-Val's Ring or Mendel. So right now, in AoE status, I'm getting anywhere between 10 to 15 million. On single target, I'm getting upwards to 8 or 9 million. It's going to be a lot higher, and I'll quickly get into that. My amulet has a very low roll on the Shadow Blight, only 128%. So I'm still missing 52% there. And I also have a low roll on my ring. I'm also missing another 10% worth of damage there. So once I get these replaced and the rest of my glyphs upgraded, on the AoE spectrum, I'm looking at getting probably around upwards to 30 mil, close to it, 25 to 30 million. And on single target, you're probably going to be looking at 10 to 15 million, which is pretty good, and it does not rely on proc. So once you build up the damage, it just keeps pumping. But that's it, so let's dive into it. Alright, I'm going to quickly go over the items and get into a few things, but let's do it. So for the helm, we're going to go with the Godslayer crown. Now this helmet is mostly for damage, especially when you get the proc. You're getting, on my helmet, 54% increased damage for 3 seconds. So perfect to 60%, which is a lot of damage. And for the helm armor, we went with Shielding Storm. And what this does is when you're using your Bone Storm, it gives you a barrier. And with Lidless Wall, you can keep your Bone Storm up almost 100% of the time. But mainly for your chest piece, you want armor, health, damage reduction, and damage reduction from close enemies. This is a very nice chest piece. And for the gloves, we went with Howl from Below. I like to use these because they have the automated corpse, which is just good for farming in general. You could switch them out and go another route if you want to, but I just like using these in general. And this also has a perfect roll for your corpse explosion. Damage is increased by 40%. And what's great about this is it also has a high lucky hit chance, and it also gives you corpse skill attack speed, which is very good for your APM when you have to be casting a lot of corpse explosions. And just the lucky hit chance to Sun and Fair also comes in handy. For the pants, we went with Disobedience. For your pants, you definitely want some damage reduction and +4 to corpse explosion. That's just for more damage. And the Disobedience is great because you're always damaging enemies, so you're usually capped on your Disobedience most of the time. And for your boots, we're going with Flicker Step, and the reason why we use this is each enemy you evade through reduces your active ultimate cooldown by 4 seconds. So that would be our Bone Storm, and it also says up to 10 seconds, so you have the chance to get it higher. Which is great because you're always dashing through enemies in the Nightmare Dungeon. So Bone Storm literally comes down off cooldown pretty quick. So if you do lose your Bone Storm, it's back up again. And for the weapon, we went with Black River. I think this is one of the best items for Necromancer in the game. I think people underestimate it. Gives +4 to all corpse skills, which is great. +2 to Fueled by Death, which is anytime you use a corpse, you get increased damage. And we also get +3 ranks to Hued Flesh. Now, Hued Flesh is very important. It's this one here. Lucky hit, your damage has up to a 24% chance to create corpses at the target's location. This chance is doubled against bosses. That's something else people don't realize. It's good to note. But with Black River, you're actually creating a lot more corpses than you normally would. Now, because of Black River and what it says on it, Corpse Explosion consumes up to 4 additional corpses around the initial corpse, dealing 126% increased damage, and with a 23% larger radius per additional corpse. But with the increase to Hued Flesh, you're actually creating a lot of corpses, and then the Corpse Explosions you're creating are also creating corpses. So you're actually pretty well constantly creating corpses with Hued Flesh. Like I said, I think it's very underestimated. And for the amulet, as we went with Blighted. But I will note one thing important about your amulet. You want the +3 to Gloom. Now, I like to also have the +3 to all corpses for the corpse explosion, but gloom is very important. And with blighted, I only have 128% increased damage for 6 seconds after the Shadow Blight key passive damages an enemy 10 times. So I'm missing 52%. That's going to be huge damage. Like I said, it's going to skyrocket my damage once I get close to a perfect roll. And we also use the Ring of Sacrilegious. I just like automated corpse explosions. I just love it. Also automated corpse tendrils. I just like to play with it. You do not have to use this. It's totally up to you. But I just like it because it also gives +3 to corpse skills, which is your corpse explosion. And I have a perfect roll lucky hit chance, which is 13.5%. And it also adds health. I think this is a great ring overall. The maximum essence is a nice little help, but it ain't necessary. And for our other ring, we went with Decay. I also have, like I said, a low roll on this. If I get near a perfect roll, it's going to be another big damage increase. So I'm actually missing a lot of damage. So this build is actually, once I get better rolls, the damage increase is going to be huge. Like I said, in AoE pools, going to be hitting upwards to 25 to 30 million. And single target, you're looking at 10 to 15 million. I'm pretty certain on that. I'm already hitting upwards to 10 million on single target. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated when I do change these out. And for the shield, we used Lidless Wall. Now, Lidless Wall is just great. You want a perfect roll on this because you're going to keep your Bone Storms up constantly, especially in the Nightmare dungeons. It's going to be great to have. And Lidless Wall is just great overall because of the maximum essence, maximum health, chance to restore primary resource, and attack speed. It's just a great shield overall. And I will make a quick note for like Abattoir of Zero. This is more of a damage output style build. For your helmet, you're going to want to go with armor. So I'm going to switch these two pieces out. Right now I'm at 7.9k armor. And when I switch those out, I'm at 11k armor, and that's without my Disobedient. So with my Disobedient stacks up, I think I'm at a little over 15,000. And on these pieces, I have armor on my helmet, and I also have armor on my pants. And these are somewhat low rolls, so you can definitely get more armor than what I have here. I do have to replace these two items. But just for now, just for the damage build, this is kind of what you're going to go with. And that's it. We're going to dive into the skills and the Paragon board. Alright, starting out on our skills, we put 1 point into Decompose and 1 into Enhanced, and that is just to get us up this way. Then we're going to put 3 points into Hued Flesh, 1 into Blight, and 1 into Enhanced, and 1 into Supernatural to increase our damage. And then we're going to come down here, put at least 1 point into Blood Mist, 1 to an Enhanced, and 1 into Ghastly to create corpses. Then we're going to max out Corpse Explosion, then we're going to max Enhanced, and then we're going to put it into Blighted Corpse Explosion to create those shadow circles. And then we're going to max Grim Harvest. Consuming a corpse generates 6 essence. So we're always consuming corpses. So a lot of times your essence is usually close to full. So because you're going to be casting a lot of Blight too. So, okay. So next we went with Fueled by Death. We also max this. You deal 15% increased damage for 6 seconds after consuming a corpse. So that's another big damage booster. And then we come down here, put 3 into Death's Embrace. This is just a great one to have. Then 3 into Amplified Damage. You deal 12% increased damage to cursed enemies. And we are always decrepifying enemies. So we put 1 point into Decrep, 1 into Enhanced, and 1 into Abhorrent Decrepify. And Abhorrent Decrepify is the one you want because when you're hitting enemies, you have a chance to reduce your cooldowns. Then we're going to come down here, put a point into Corpse Tendril, 1 into Enhanced, and 1 into Plagued Corpse Tendril so you can make the enemies vulnerable. Then we're going to come over here, put 1 point into Reaper's Pursuit, 3 into Gloom. Now I'm going to quickly go over why you want +3 on your amulet. So what this says is when you damage enemies with darkness skills, they take 12% times increased shadow damage from you and your minions for 2 seconds, stacking up to 3 times. So if we didn't have the +3 on the amulet, we'll take away 3 points. It would be 6%, and it can stack up to 3 times. So that's only 18%. Now we put the max points into it. It's 12%, stacking up to 3 times, which is 36%. It's huge. It's definitely needed. Then we're going to put 3 points into Terror and 1 into Crippling Darkness. Then we're going to come down here, put 3 points into Inspiring Leader. Now I went this route just for the attack speed. I think having attack speed is great. If you want to, you can put your points elsewhere. And we also put 1 point into Bone Storm, 1 into Prime Bone Storm, and 1 into Supreme Bone Storm. And we also put 3 into Standalone and 3 into Memento Mori. And then finally, we put the last point into Shadow Blight. Now, with the Paragon board, I kind of went the route where I wanted to get much glyphs as possible. And so, starting out, we come up this way, and our first glyph, we take Exploit. Now, I only took the minimum amount of dexterity points, because like I said, we're trying to get as much boards as we can get. Then we come up here, we took Scent of Death, and then we come up here and took Sacrificial. Then we come up here and we took Wither, and then coming over here, we took Scourge. And then coming over here, we took Flesh Eater, and we also took Exhumation. And then we come down here, we chose the board Bonegraft. We do not take it, but we also take the glyph of Amplify. Now I'm still working on leveling this up. My Exhumation is also not maxed. It's close to max, but having this max will also increase my damage. So we still have a lot of damage increases to go. So like I said, by the time this build is done, it's going to be a lot more powerful than it is now. And then we come over and we took a Bloodbaggets, Blood, and we do not take the node, but we come over here and take the glyph of Darkness. And then we come here down to Bloodbath. We do not take the node, and we take Control. Like I said, it's a work in progress. I might even lose a glyph to maybe increase some glyph damage. We're going to see what happens in the future, but this is as is right now. So, as you guys can see, this build is very strong. Easily cleared tier 100 nightmare dungeon. Killed the boss in about 25 seconds or so. Very strong, and it's only going to get a lot stronger. I'm going to be using this build for the Abattoir of Zir, and I'm going to keep you guys updated once I change out some pieces. But hope you guys try out the build. That's it for this video. Hit the subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.